everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today in this stream. I am Deanna Bryan. I am the program manager at Hope for HIE, and I am joined with Haley Thomas, a Hope for HIE's social worker. Thank you so much, Haley, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to everyone about our peer support mentorship program.
Yes. So as you may or may not have seen in the last couple of weeks, we've kind of put out a little call to action, if you will, to our community members to see who would be willing and able and ready and to apply to become a peer support mentor. And we're kind of revamping the system a little bit. So we thought it would behoove everyone to just kind of get you and me together to talk about what peer support mentor is, what these changes look like, and how to, and most importantly, how to apply. So, but before we get into that, let's just talk about you, Haley, just for a second. Can you just say who you are, maybe how long you've been with Hope for HIE, and yeah, you get it.
So I'm Haley. I'm the Hope for HIE social worker, and I've been with the organization since last May, so a little over a year, and this will be going on our third year of the peer support mentorship program. So I've really just enjoyed working with all the amazing families we have and overseeing all the different things. And this peer support mentorship program is just so wonderful, and it provides so much support to families and our Hope for HIE community. So we kind of were brainstorming as a team and finding some other ways that we can sort of add some different resources and kind of other options for families who want to connect with a mentor but may not want that full long-term 1-year connection.
Yes. So we're going to go over kind of what these categories are. So as you kind of said, there's going to be one-on-one traditional mentoring, what our community is kind of used to. But then we're going to we're going to talk about more of this like mentor on call program that we're going to start implementing. And we're going to say, who it applies to, who we want to become part of our team, essentially. So let me kind of change this little slide here. Let's start with what is a peer support mentor? Can you kind of go through step by step who that person is, Haley?
So for our traditional peer support mentor, so these are trained volunteers and parents that are in our Hope for HIE community that usually have children a little bit older. So most of them, their children are at least 2 or 3 years old, up to I think our oldest kiddo might be about 11 at this point. And so it's someone who just wants to give back to the community and who wants to connect with other parents. And they're just there to support parents as they navigate their journey with HIE with their child. And I oversee the program. You do go through some training, and in that training, you just learn how to help connect with others. And so they meet with me regularly, and we connect on fun little Zoom calls as a group, just so that we can all get to know each other. And basically, you have that availability for up to 1 year, and all of our peer mentors sign a 1-year commitment. So that way they're available to families for that 1 calendar year, and families are able to have that consistency.
Love it. Love it. And they report to you, and they come to you for guidance and support, and you kind of help facilitate everything.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I know that's what people are kind of familiar with.
Yes.
But we were like, what would be cool and helpful is more of like a peer support mentor on call. So I'll have you talk about what that looks like.
So this is an exciting new program with the peer support mentorship program that we're really excited to try it out. What we've noticed is with some of the mentors, they just want, a little bit of some time with their mentor. And the mentees just want to connect maybe once or twice or just for like a month. So this mentor on call is a situation where if you just want to connect with someone one time, you have something going on you want to talk about, or you're transitioning home from the NICU, or your child's received a diagnosis in addition to HIE that you want to talk through with someone, you can reach out, apply for that, and I will connect you with a mentor that can have that one-time phone call with you, or if you want to do a Zoom call or an email, whatever works for you. With our mentorship program, you and your mentor, as the mentee and the mentor, you get to decide what that relationship looks like. So for some families, it's talking via phone. For some connections, it's email, text message, WhatsApp. There are many different ways to connect mentor to mentee. So it gives everyone kind of a way to make it individual and what works for them in their journey. And so with this mentor on call, you can get that just kind of one-time connection to get that support. And then if you decide, later I want to talk to someone on a more regular basis, then you can absolutely reapply and ask for a full 1-year mentorship. And then we can work on matching you with someone.
Absolutely. And I think your point of you take a lot of time, and there's a huge process of matching people with the mentor, right? So, and so that's why I'm going to skip ahead
Go ahead.
to like who we're looking for. I think that makes sense for
Yes.
now, like, because now we can start getting into like who who's like qualified, I suppose, for lack of a better word,
Yes.
to be a peer support mentor
I
or
think that's
mentor on call.
Yes, I think that's a great thing to talk about because I think there's a lot of people in our community who are wondering, well, is this for me? Is this something that
Mhm.
I'm at a point in my journey where that would be good for me. So we want you to be experienced in your HIE journey for 2+ years and be in the Hope for HIE community. That gives you time to have a lot of those firsts, to maybe navigate
Mhm.
some additional diagnoses and kind of work through some specialists and just life in general.
Mhm.
Um, and we want anyone with any sort of outcome or diagnosis or anything. There isn't a specific type of mentor we're looking for. We would love to have a lot of representation and have people from really any background, everywhere, all over the globe, because we do have both US based and international families that apply. And so we really just want anyone who feels like, what, I'd like to give back to the Hope for HIE space in whatever capacity that is. That's the part of the interview process where we go into those details about exactly what it takes and kind of the time commitment. So even if you're just like, I'm not sure, but I want to talk to someone more, please reach out to me via email or go ahead and fill out the application, and we
Mhm.
can do that interview and talk through some of that. So that way, you know exactly what, that's going to look like. And so I just think everyone who does this has loved it. The feedback
Yeah.
I get from both mentor and mentee is that it's so valuable. You feel connected, you feel heard, and you feel seen on both
Mhm.
sides. And so I just think if it's something you're even considering, definitely apply and connect with me so that we can talk about it more.
Yes. And we've mentioned that you're there to help them, but those who apply, you don't just like jump in the deep end. Like we walk you through, there are scaffolds and supports that Hope will provide you with.
Yes,
So I just moved slides. So Haley, you can go ahead and say how we'll help them kind of
absolutely.
take on this role.
So through the Child Neurology Foundation, they helped us put together an amazing peer support mentorship curriculum. So there's a
Mhm.
curriculum where you do actual training and it's spaced out for you and it's asynchronous. So you do that training at home in the comfort of your own home when it's available to you, and you get kind of like a time frame. So
Mhm.
like within this week we'd like for you to do these videos and things like that. And then I meet with you regularly. We meet at the end of all the training. And you can reach out to me via email. Sometimes for some mentors in the very beginning, they're emailing with me to make sure, hey, is the recommendations I'm giving or the supports that I'm giving or the boundaries that I'm holding, is all this looking good to you? And that's perfectly fine. I am here to help you. That's what my
Mhm.
favorite thing is. That's the reason I became a social worker. And so I love this program and I love helping everyone involved. You get quarterly thank yous from Hope for HIE, which is just a nice little something in the mail for you for just the work that you're providing. You get to connect with other peer support mentors, which is great, and meet other parents. And then the contract is renewable. So we do have multiple people who are on their going to be going into their third year. So
Mhm.
that's another great thing. You have people who are seasoned and have done this for a few years, and they're willing and happy to share what's worked, what's not worked, and connect with you too.
Yes. So we're so excited to kind of get this ball rolling. And there are two separate links to apply. Now, there are so many options to go about doing this, truly. You can go to hopeforhie.org / volunteer, because that is our volunteer hub. And that's kind of where we have all of the links to all of the volunteer opportunities. But for those of you who like more of like direct access to things, I totally get it. There are two applications, and it really just depends on which type of peer support mentor category, if you will, you want to be a part of. So if you're new to HIE or want to be a new to HIE mentor or an HIE family mentor, an example would be like extended family member. If you are a grandmother or an aunt or an uncle or someone who wants to provide that type of support. If you're a pride parent, if you are a single parent, these are all that this is kind of the link for you, right? HIE families in general. Now, if you are a lost parent and you want to help provide support to other parents who have lost their child recently to HIE, then you would go directly to the New to Lost Mentor application, and you can see that tiny URL right there. But these are all like distinctly categorized on our volunteer hub. So there are a bunch of different ways to access it. Haley, do you kind of want to talk about like the timeline, if you will? We might extend it, but for now, depending on how many applicants we get and so on and so forth, when would you love for people to apply by?
Yes. So right now the applications are open, and we would love to have as many people apply by the end of July, if you can, because we'd like to do interviews in August, because the timeline for our mentorship program is the contracts end at the end of August. So we'd love to start onboarding you as a new mentor late August and early September, so that we can start your contract September 1st. But we are willing and we can be flexible, but we would just love to get as many applicants as we can, because the need is always there. We are getting applications weekly for families. Many times we're having multiple applicants per week, and I need people to match them with. And these families are a lot of times just coming home from the NICU. They're feeling like they don't have a lot of support. So we would love to have as many people apply as we can, so that we can provide this amazing service to so many of our Hope for HIE families.
Yeah. And, you know, I hope people don't feel like they have to be like, you don't have to be a social worker. Like, you don't have to like have this like huge background of, we truly like we're looking for people who are like 2+ years in the HIE community, who just have a heart for giving back and really just want to connect with other people and like provide guidance. Like, not, of course, not medical advice or guidance. That's always our disclaimer, but really just connection and support. And like you said, Haley, it's mutually beneficial. Like the people who volunteer and the people who help, I feel like there's like, they get something out of it too, you know? So we can't wait to see who applies, and just to keep building this program. Cause as we know, like we just grew to more than 10,000 families globally. So, you know, the more we grow, the more the need is, you know, so we hope, people feel compelled to give back. And this is such a wonderful, meaningful way to do that. But in the meantime, right, let's I'll just type out your little email. How about you say how to contact you if you have any questions, and then I'll put the email.
Yes, any questions, or if anyone needs anything, or you just want to talk it over a little bit, please feel free to email me. My email is Haley, HALEY, @hopeforhie.org, and we can set up a quick phone call, Zoom call, whatever is comfortable for you. Or you can just email me if you're just like, hey, I'm interested, but I need some questions answered to see if this can fit into my life. Feel free to reach out to me, and I will be happy to clarify any questions you have. But we would love to have a ton of people apply, because the need is there, and these families are wanting to connect. And like you said, everyone on both ends of these relationships just grows and gets so much out of it. And it's such a great way to connect with other families in our community. So I just can't wait to see either, as you mentioned, the connections we're going to make this year and the impact we're all going to have.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us to talk with us today about this. I'm sure that we will find other ways to have people kind of learn more about this program. So stay tuned for what that looks like. But in the meantime, here are the links to apply. And like Haley just said, she's ready and willing to talk to you and answer any questions you may have. So thank you so much again, Haley, for joining us. And thank you, Hope for HIE community members, for thinking about and entertaining this idea of giving back. And we hope that you do. And we will see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.